Here we go. Hey, welcome in to the Papa Drew's RV Live. I am so tired. We were just over at Wayward Wags. We had like 90 people in the house. Dustin and Leslie are so great. Awesome people. It's a job just to moderate for them. You guys are all great. You've all come over from there. We have a ton of people. We have a special guest that's coming in right now, Jerry at Happy Place Diaries. You know him. You love him. He's a vet, and we're going to have a great time. Talking about what? I have no idea. We're winging it tonight. Hey, Jerry. How you doing? Nope, I can't hear you.
You got to hit the button to make the sound thing work.
Yeah. It usually works when you hit the button.
Yeah. Hey, I'm doing great, Drew. Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, thanks for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day while you're social distancing away from everybody else.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm doing my very best to be creative with time and space and doing what everybody else is doing. So
yeah, I know. It's crazy. Well, we're cooped up here in a 1,200 square foot condo. We're 5 stories above a bar that shut down, which sucks. And we have 4 of us in here with a Great Dane.
Keep the Great Dane and figure out the rest.
Well, they're baking cookies. So I quit smoking. I'm on that cookie diet now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
It's highly recommended. And you get to eat a lot of cookies and chocolate, which kind of keeps you amped up. And then you chew Nicorette gum and try not to kill anybody.
Yeah, I'm on the government mandated seafood diet right now.
Yeah,
I see food and I'm eating it. So
right, everybody's going to come out of this weighing about 600 pounds. So I'll fit right in. You're all coming up to my standard. I had to get rid of that big old goatee that I usually sport, which it killed me. It hit all my chins and it did really well. And then I couldn't get my mask on. It was like trying to talk through a dead cat.
Yeah, I can imagine. I said that I wasn't going to shave until baseball came back, and my wife had veto power on that. So I had to clean up today. Was she boycotting and not shaving too until baseball came back? No. No comment.
We'll see who wins this battle.
No, I know who wins that battle.
Awesome. All right. So we got a bunch of people in the house. We got 33 in here. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Let's go through the chat and see who we got in here. We got Slow Momentum. He's back. That guy just never stops. I mean, there is no moss that grows under KT's tire. No. He is just rolling. He did a bunch of live streams today, just cruising down the highway. And that guy is always traveling where it's flat. So you can see for like 60 miles from his live streams. It's amazing. We got William Dixon in the house. We have Culture, Lifestyle, and Travel. We have Bob's Adventure, RV Traveling, MIA Researchers. We have Meant to Be RVing. Let's see. We have Our Epic RV Adventures. I believe he goes by the code name Michelle. I actually was saying Michelle one time. He called me on the phone, which I'm probably going to get another call. It's Michael. You guys are in here. Creators and Grams, Our Life, Whirlwind, and Galleon Adventures. Jerry's come out of retirement to come over here. He was sending me pictures earlier today of burning a bunch of stuff and playing with a bunch of wood in the back of his pickup truck. He's doing a bunch of stuff going on. And we have Lee Hilton in the house, Endless RVing. They just did a really cool video, Endless RVing. If you haven't checked out their channel, if you can get over the New Jersey accent, it's really cool. They have a Newmar. They just did a whole series on Newmar. Would they buy it again? Did they like it? Pros and cons. And it was a really good video. I highly recommend that. So if you have a chance while you're social distancing, are you chasing bugs?
No, I'm wondering why it's so dark in here.
Oh, it's probably because the windows are shut.
Yeah, it's all that TBI that I've got too. So
Go check out Endless RVing. RV Traveling MIA, we said those guys. Lucky Dog Productions in the house. Those are the moderators for Traveling Robert, which we just had on the show last Friday. Robert is such a nice guy. He's good off the screen as he is on the screen. He is just a super cool guy. He did a great concert. He's going to start playing live concerts and stuff. And let me get the phone. Jerry's blowing me up here from Galleon Adventures. Go check him out because he's doing live concerts now. It's really cool. And then we have just so many people. Patty, Cola, the Dupreys are in here. Ross and Heather. I called Ross today 5 times in a row before he answered the phone. That was awesome. So we got a bunch of stuff going on. Let's get the chat down here. We got new comments. Blue Wave Odyssey's in the house. The Brazen Brits, which I think the Wags are going to do something with them, so stay tuned for that. Simple Life, Big Adventures are in the house. I just like to welcome everybody in. If I didn't get your name on here, I do apologize. I do love you, and I welcome you in. Thank you for being here. So, Jerry, you got a lot going on. You guys are not full-time. You guys are part-time, right?
Correct. We are weekenders plus.
Like us.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm retired. My wife's not. So we are on the road as much as we possibly can. And actually just notified that they shut down the Oregon schools today. So now she is off for the rest of the year. But they have to do the online thing.
Yeah.
So she's semi-retired for the rest of the school year. So, yeah, we're just weekenders plus.
Yeah, I got one 14-year-old that's all in honors. I'm so proud of her. They shut down her school, and they're kind of trying to figure out, public schools trying to figure out how to educate them. And then the little one, the 8-year-old, I'm super proud of her. She goes to a private school, and they've got it all figured out. She can do online classes and learn, and education is still going on like normal. It's actually funny to see all the 8-year-olds together in a live stream chat thing. They're going to be great YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I was eavesdropping. They have a staff call every morning on Zoom. And one of the teachers said that the new curriculum is gearing them to be YouTubers. So,
well, yeah, even the famous movie stars are all becoming YouTubers. We better watch out. They're going to start copying us. They'll copy you.
If they copy me, they're out of business, pal.
I doubt it. You're really good, man. If you haven't checked out Jerry's channel, please go over there, check him out, see if you can make new friends. Help him out. He's trying to get over to the 600 mark and his watch time hours and stuff. So he's got a lot going on behind the scenes. He's working exclusively with Wags and our Epic RV Adventures, and they're putting together something really special for all the vets out there. If you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into what you got going on with RVing stuff, because we are an RVing channel, believe it or not.
Yeah, so absolutely. And we're relying on the RV community to support this effort that myself, Michael, and Dustin kind of came up with. And especially, and we don't want to capitalize on the what's going on in the world right now. But what we know for sure is because of what's going on in the world right now, there's going to be a lot of small businesses, small nonprofits that are really going to be hurting on the back end of this. And so I reached out to Michael and Dustin and asked if they would be interested in partnering up with me to do something good for a veteran charity or veteran activity, or a charity that focuses on veterans. And
so there's a lot of drinking involved then.
On a small effort, so that they're going to get more bang for the buck. So anyway, the three of us have been kind of brainstorming, which that's something in and of itself. Put those three brains together, you get one. But we've come up with a really cool idea. We're asking creators, especially in the RV community, that are veterans, to contact myself, Wags, or Michael. And before Friday, we got to do it before Friday so that we can launch this thing. We have a timeline set. because, we're all military folks. We put together a timeline. And so if you are interested in being on the ground level of this, the good thing is we're not asking for a huge commitment, and it's not going to cost much. We're going to keep it really reasonable. But it's gonna support an amazing veteran based charity that has a really great reach, and so a little bit of money goes a long way with them, and so we want to give them a lot of money so that it goes even further. So that's basically what that's about, without saying a whole lot. Drew, I know that you're in already, and you were one of the early ones to jump on with us. And we certainly appreciate that. But really what it comes down to is something that no matter what branch of the service you were in, we all came out of it with one thing that's ingrained in our head and our heart, and that's that we take care of each other. And so that's what this is really all about. So the RV veteran content creators put all that together. We want to do something and then extend it out to the entire RV community and beyond, folks that watch our channels and all that. So,
Right.
that's what it's all about. It's really about RV content creator, RVers, veterans helping veterans out.
Correct. It is. And you know what? It's that saying, any place, anytime. That really holds true with vets. You could be walking down the street and I could run into another jarhead, and all I have to do is say Semper Fi, and it's, we're brothers. So yeah, it's really a great thing when we can get together and support people that are truly in need, especially during this time. It's a pretty cool thing. So just stand by, as they say in the service. It's a hurry up and wait. And we'll get you there, and we'll roll this thing out. I kind of know what's going on behind the scenes. It's really cool, and it's got my channels and all my family members, all of their support. We're really behind you. But let's change gears a little bit, and let's go into the RV stuff. So you've been RVing now for quite a while. I went and ran some of your playlists. I'm sure you saw that, just to kind of get a better idea. That's kind of what we're all about, right? So tell me, what's one of the most funniest things that you've ever had happen that you weren't expecting when you started RVing? Like, what's your oh God moment? I'm sure people want to hear that, because that's great content.
Well, and I'll tell you, it kind of goes back to being in the military, because an oh God moment can be catastrophic now, and we laugh about it later.
Yes.
I think my biggest oh God moment that I laugh about now, but it scared me to death at the time, is we were camped out at one of our great state parks, actually out on the coast, and I was getting the trailer set up, and my tongue jack stopped working. And so I fiddled around with it and all that stuff, and decided, well, I need to manually activate it, and pop the little cap off and stick the thing down and twist it. And I had it all set, and I thought I was good, and probably wasn't paying attention too much. And I was trying to get it back up on my truck, and the entire trailer shifted to the left and fell.
Oh, Jesus.
And luckily, my jack was down still about that much to where the actual tongue didn't hit the ground. But I was underneath it when it happened. I was moving something. I was on my knees. And the next thing I know, I saw this great big trailer go like this and fall within inches of me. And my wife was inside the trailer, and she came running out and what's going on? And I'm standing there, pale. And like I said, we laugh about it now, but it was an oh God. Luckily, the park host came and he had a really cool pallet jack thing, and we got everything. And $65 fix, I went and bought a new manual tone jack, and it didn't ruin the weekend, but it almost it almost did. So that was my big oh crap moment.
I wonder what was going through your wife's mind when the trailer shifted left. Like, what in the hell is he doing out there?
Yeah, probably. She's like, oh, again?
Again? So one of our funny moments are we had that big Class C, the 33-footer, and we had just got the Class C, and we had taken it down to San Diego, down to a KOA, and we're coming back. And my wife was like, I'm really tired, and I want to go to sleep. And I was like, oh, hold my beer. I have a queen bed in the back, and you can walk through with all the slides through. I said, honey, why don't you go lay down in the back of the bed? Thinking, hey, I'm just doing something nice, and I got this. I can drive home. Well, she went back there and laid down, and about 10 minutes later, she came back up and sat in the passenger seat. And I looked at her, and I said, well, you're not sleeping. What happened? She goes, you go back there and lay down. Every time you hit a bump, I was launched 10 feet in the air.
Yeah. So
the leaf springs back there was launching her out of the bed and back onto the bed. So, yeah, that was one of our. So, in other words, if you have the same kind of system that I have on mine, that leaf spring stuff, don't put anybody in the back. Overhead cab is okay, but in the back, it was, I guess, not fun to lay down and go to sleep. She got up and she was upset with me. How did I know?
Yeah. Well, they say that pulling a travel trailer, it's like an earthquake back there while you're going down the road, and we have pretty decent roads out here in Oregon, Washington. California is not too bad until you get down around your area,
right?
But we went out to the Mississippi and back, up through Chicago and back last summer, and we were going through some parts of Wisconsin that I tell you better have a dentist, a chiropractor, and a mechanic on standby when you come out of there. It shook. We've got these at the time we had these swivel rockers in the back, and it just moved them across.
From one side to the other.
By the time we got to South Dakota.
Open up the door and everything's just kind of falling out. The other moment we had is we were learning I drove tanks for a living in the Marine Corps, big M1A1 tanks. And I'm used to just going wherever I wanted to go because I was in a tank.
Yeah, 70 tons gets its way.
Yeah, I hold my beer, I'm coming through.
Right.
And we had the kids and everybody in this. We went to a dealership, and I was like, okay, let me drive a 33-foot Class C, because that's what we were looking at with the families more sleeping and stuff. So everybody's sitting in the couches and the settees. My wife's sitting next to me in the passenger seat, and the sales guy's sitting behind us in one of the swivels. Well, I went and turned the corner like I would in a normal car. And everybody that was sitting on the right side of the RV decided to move to the left side of the RV. And my 14-year-old looked at me and then looked at the sales guy and said, does this thing come with driving lessons? I knew then I was in trouble. After that, we kind of calmed down on the right turns. But yeah, it was an interesting. It's a different experience when you're inside the motorhome and you have everybody around and you make those big turns. So that was really cool. After that, I kind of calmed down. But my wife, teaching her how to drive, she does okay. She hit the same tree 3 times at Costco.
Oh no.
Yeah, because she couldn't get into the gas, so she kept circling Costco and hitting the exact same tree 3 times. So I finally called her up on the phone and I asked her why that tree, did that tree make you mad? And she goes, what are you talking about? So we pull in for gas, and then the limb fell out of the back of the RV. And she goes, where'd that come from? I said, well, never mind. It's a long story.
Yeah, it's okay. It could be fixed.
So she didn't tear up the RV, but she killed the hell out of the tree. She got it. So you guys...
I've scared the crap out of some curbs.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We all do it. I can imagine everybody that's sitting in the chat right now. We have 30 people sitting in here, and I'm sure they have their aha moments, too, that we're bringing up. And they're probably like, yeah, I've done that. And if you want to put it in the chat, we'll read it. Like Wonderlaw says, we drove to San Diego, or to SD to MD last summer, and it's growing. And toll roads, Illinois was horrible, so they were having the same kind of problems in Illinois. Yeah. The traveling Pisces decided to take their RV off road, and they sunk it, where they had to have Grassroots Living, which are 2 great channels, come out and tow them out. And that they did a whole video on that. Don't think I'm not going to tell Jeanette and Aaron. I'm going to tell the stories.
No, but you know there are true YouTubers if they kept the camera rolling.
Oh, they did.
While all that is going on. And I tell you, the scariest place I've ever taken the RV was through LA. We went down to Anaheim, and it wasn't the traffic. It was the fact that when you're pulling, and I take up 52 feet of real estate front to back. And I kept looking, I'm telling Teresa, I said, if we break down or if we have a fender bender, there's no way to go when you're in LA, because they have the Jersey barriers on one side and the Texas barriers on the other side.
And everybody's in between doing about 80.
And you have that much room to pull over. So if you break down, it sucks to be you in LA because you're going to wait, and so that was and I told Teresa, I said, if we have a blowout or anything, we're just driving until we get to the RV park. We're going to drag bumpers until we get there because I'm not going to stop and pull over.
See, that's my backyard. I drive the LA thing all the time in the big RV. And you know what? We just go. The Dupreys told me something a long time ago. Heather did, if they're still watching. They said, look, Drew, go very slow. You're not in a tank. Go slow. And when it says 40 miles an hour on the off ramps, do 40 miles an hour. There's no need to rush, and enjoy the journey and install a train horn. I did all of that. The train horn is my favorite. So you met your wife how long ago? Tell us a story about how you met your wife.
32 years ago.
Congratulations.
We met in college. I was going to school, and she was going to school, and we had biology. We were taking the same biology course, and there's no punchline there. Okay, I see you grinning. We were taking the same biology course on different times, but we had the same professor, and we had to do this assignment, and we had to go out and look at like some ecosystems and stuff, whatever. And I didn't really know her, but we did that. And then there was a big party up on Mount Hood, which is like, I go outside, I could see Mount Hood from our house. There's a big party up there every year. They don't do it anymore, but it was called Pray for Snow. And we belonged to the ski club and all that stuff. And she needed a ride. So I gave her a ride up there, and we started dating that day.
And that was biology 101.
That was 101.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I had to take a pass on, and I ended up taking all 3 of my biologies during a summer term. So, yeah. So I think, huh?
Did she help you out with that? Did she probably passed, and then you had to?
I don't think she ever did finish that. I don't know. That was a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, we got married 28 years. We've been married 28 years. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
I figure I'm blessed because she stuck around.
Whose idea was it to get the RV?
Both of ours, and we've only had our RV for 4 years.
Right. You had some tent camping experiences.
Yeah. We did the tent thing like everybody, and we've always been outdoorsy, and we go snowshoeing and hiking and doing all that, and we took the kids camping. We took our twins camping when they were like toddlers, and our son walked by and bumped a lantern and burned our tent.
I was just about
so we've been out there. And then 2015, we were camping in a tent out at the coast. And all of a sudden, we're in this big storm, and 70-mile-an-hour winds start ripping through. Our dog is freaking out. The tent was laying flat on us, and trees are snapping around us. And Teresa looked over at me and she said, "I'm not having fun." And so we got up and we packed. We didn't pack. We took everything and put it in a big ball and threw it in the back of the truck. And we were following some RVs home, and we talked about it all the way. And we went to the RV show that November and bought the RV in February the next year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you guys were on a queen mattress inflatable during that, weren't you?
yes.
Yeah. See, I watch your
homework.
Huh? I did do my homework. For a jarhead, I'm not that bad.
Yeah. No.
I knew you guys burned down the tent. And then I knew you were in the That's cool, man. Those are stories that you're gonna, tell forever. And the neat thing about that too is if everybody's watching, all 34 of us that are in the house, you can go to Jerry's playlist. And that's where I got the information from. I watched Jerry's playlist, a ton of videos from him, and all of these stories he has documented on videos on YouTube. And that's just really a neat thing. So after the live stream, go and do Jerry's playlist and enjoy some of that stuff that's going on. Now, you were in the service. You were in the Army, I believe?
Army, 21 years.
20. What did you do in the service? What did you do in the Army?
Well, I enlisted in the Army as an infantryman. I was an airborne ranger.
Okay.
And spent my entire, excuse me?
So you're nuts.
Yeah.
You jumped out of airplanes.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was in the infantry my entire career. I culminated my career as a 00 Zulu, which is a command sergeant major. And my last duty assignment was with the Joint Force Task Force. And I was an advisor in Singapore. So I came back from that, and they told me that my next duty assignment would be at the brigade level. I would be going to Afghanistan. So we sat down and talked about it, and Teresa helped me make a decision by saying, "Can you get promoted anymore?" And the answer was no. "And do you have enough medals?" And I said, "Yep." So the next time I went into the office, I turned in my retirement packet, and after 21 years, parted ways.
Now, I know in the Marine Corps, I got out as an E3, and there's a reason why I got out. Not because I got in trouble, because when Desert Storm was kicking off, the very first one back in the 90s when I was in the service, they made 6 million tankers to go fight in the desert with tanks. Well, they froze the MOS. You couldn't get promoted. So I spent the whole time in E3 doing all that kind of stuff. And eventually I was holding sergeants and staff sergeant billets as an E3, because so it just took forever. And I was like, I'm done after 4 years. I was like, you know what? Either you put another stripe on my shoulder or I'm taking a hike. So I left. I became a couch potato, as you can see. But I had so many great memories of hanging out with the guys in the barracks and doing fun stuff. What was some of the most embarrassing, funny things you can talk about on the air right now when you were in the service?
Well, funny, embarrassing. I'm activating my filter. Let's see. Well, so I had a roommate, and that didn't help. My wife just handed me my government issue.
Oh, okay.
Hearing
I was in
aids.
artillery. Just play it loud.
Yeah. So I had a roommate, and he was from Chevyville, Tennessee, and his dad, every once in a while, would send us some containers of homemade moonshine. And so the story starts right there. And so there was a bunch of us that came out of 3rd Ranger Battalion, and we were stationed up in Alaska. And it was, I want to say it was around Christmas time, and the 3rd Ranger Battalion was jumping into Wainwright Army Airfield. And we had gone through quite a bit of this moonshine. And so we were standing on top of our barracks watching the Rangers jump into the airfield. And we were a bunch of paratroopers, and we thought that we're invincible. You know, we're all 19 years old and all that stuff. And we ended up jumping off the roof of our building into the snow, and then running over to the airfield to see if any of the Rangers wanted to engage in a little bit of pugiling, and that didn't turn out so well. So anyway, God, Drew, there are so many.
I know there is.
There are so many funny stories. I had to jump once. I had a lieutenant, and his name is David Faddis, great guy. And he was a super smart guy. He works for the State Department now over in Belgium. And I was his radio operator, and I had to jump this bag called a seaweed bag. So I'm 5'11", and with the seaweed bag, your reserve parachute, your reserve parachute sits right about here, and then your rucksack and all this stuff. Well, your seaweed bag, everything fits in that. And so it goes from the bottom of your reserve to the ground and beyond. So this thing was about half of my height, and you can't walk with it. You just kind of waddle. Well, I was like 2 or 3 from the door, and both of the doors are open. So you're getting this suction. And as you get about 3 from the door, you start feeling like there's a vacuum cleaner about to suck you out that door. Well, because this bag was too big, I couldn't reach down and secure the leg strap. And so the seaweed bag, when I got close to the door, it lifted up and got sucked to the door, and it was attached to me. So where it went, I went. And so I ended up falling on my back, and the jump master basically just put a boot on me and rolled me out the door. So I went out like a sack of crap, and I landed exactly like that sack of crap. But if you ask me, would I do it again? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go back up and do it again in a heartbeat.
That's because you were 19 years old and we didn't know any better. Landing on your head sucks.
I've done it a couple times.
I haven't. We were out in 29 Palms, and we were part of a FAC tank, forward air control tank. So I used to call in. We used to get a captain on board, a fighter pilot, and put him in the back with all the radios. And we had a bazillion antennas sticking out of this tank. And the mortar team had shot off a mortar, and they were marking the target out to call in 2,000 pounders from the F-18s. And you could hear the pilots, talking. I see the mark. We're rolling in, wings level. The bombs would come off, and the desert would explode. Well, the mortar team has splashed, so the round came out of the tube, and shot out. We're looking for splash, and we're like, "Where is it?" I stick my head up over the driver's compartment, and it's like 50 feet in front of us is where the mortar shell is burning with a flare. Well, the F-18 pilot calls in. He goes, "I see the target. We're about ready to roll in, and that's us." So my Uranus went from like this to like this, and I'm closing the hatch, and I'm yelling, "Short round, short round, short round," and we're calling off the F-18s because he's about ready to drop a 2,000 pounder on my tank. We had pucker. We could have made diamonds.
Oh, yeah, I've had a couple of those.
Yeah.
And Wags is in the room, and I'm sure he's got stories. But yeah, we called in A-10 close air support when we were in Iraq, and being the sergeant major, I had all the radios around me, so I'm listening to the whole thing. And our forward air controller is standing right next to me, and the A10, he mark your position, and it was at night. So we're not using smoke because you can't see smoke at night.
Right.
And so we were using infrared and what they call glint tape. I don't know if they had that when you were in, but it's sitting on top of your head, so they can see it. It makes us all sparkly.
Right.
And luckily the bad guys don't have the technology to see the sparkly. And we just lined everybody up so that we made a line of sparkly. And the A-10 pilot said he's coming over our shoulder. And I'm looking over this way. And what he meant by over the shoulder was from behind us to
right,
because the bad guy was in front of us. And he let go with that, what is it, the 30 millimeter cannon.
Yeah, the Gatling gun. Yeah.
And which is a wonderful sound.
Sound like a giant fart.
But the brass came right down on top of us.
Yeah.
And you just try to get as much of your body inside of your Kevlar as you can, because that stuff's coming down and it's coming hot. So
it's big. They're big rounds. Yeah. So
yeah, it was good. I won't tell you what happened after that, but
So to switch it up, you guys do you like your travel trailer? You have a bumper pull. Would you guys think about switching into some kind of other RV, or do you like your bumper pull, and why?
Oh, we absolutely love our travel trailer. Now we did go to the RV show last month, and definitely considering, fifth wheel, moving up to a fifth wheel. I think, we're going to stay in that class, either a fifth wheel or a travel trailer. We don't have our trailer is 33 feet total. So we have like 29 feet usable space. So we have plenty of room, and, it's just the two of us now. And we did take our grandson with us last outing. But we don't need a whole lot of beds. We don't need a whole lot,
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking. We did fall in love with a couple fifth wheels that
right.
we looked at one that's kind of like the Montanas, and then we looked at a couple others, and the Grand Design Reflections, and those they're beautiful. So
yeah.
No,
I get you. We're in a Class C right now with the kids and everything. I think it just works for what we have. Plus, my payments are $200 a month. Go get a 33-foot Class C with a $200 payment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our trailer's parked about 40 feet that way, and it's paid for. So that's one of the reasons that we love it so much. Because when I hook up to it, I don't hear a meter running.
Exactly. No, I get you. And the campgrounds, you have great pricing out there for campgrounds. They're reasonable. Out where I live, it's ridiculous. You're 65 to 100. I think the last review I did on a park, it was $240 for 2 nights. I mean, that's just that's a little bit.
Yeah, and we camp a lot at the state parks.
Yeah, so do we.
Oregon doesn't do a lot of things great, but what they do some good things for veterans, and especially disabled veterans, and which I'm in that category. And so we could stay 10 days in the state park system for $8.
Now, here's a pro tip. If you're a disabled veteran for California, you can come down to the park system and actually get a pass, and I think you can stay for free.
Even if you're a non-resident?
I don't know if if non-resident. I don't know. I'm not a disabled vet. I should be, because I'm nuts. But I think I don't know but they let you get a huge discount, or it's free with disabled veterans passes. Isn't that right, Ange? Yeah. She's shaking her head. She's picking up dog food right now. The Great Dane throws the food all over the house. She doesn't know how to eat out of her bowl. So yeah, it's California has it going on with the state parks. It's really cool if you're a veteran and you're disabled. They give you just a giant perk. But if you're like me, just a regular Joe that's a veteran, you're paying full price. And it can get pretty pricey.
Yeah, even some of the private parks, like the one we're going to go to next, as soon as it opens, rumor has it that they're opening in Washington. Private parks are opening on the 15th. And the park that we're talking about going to probably on the 16th, I think it's a beautiful private park. I did do a video on it. And it's called Elk Meadows, and it's $40 a night. Yeah, so that's still pretty reasonable.
Is it full hookups?
It's full hookup, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And amazing views.
Little bit wants to see the Great Dane, so hang on for a second. So, hey, Cleo, come here. You guys want to see the Dane? Hey, look. Hey, look, here, Mama. Here, let me see if I can get at you.
Drew, you muted yourself.
There we go. We're unmuted. There's the Great Dane right there. Did you see her?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, come here.
There's the Dane right there. she's big.
Yeah, I'll show you my killer dog. Show me your war face, Aid.
You're not trying to take the bone from her. She's not going to be scary.
So, yeah, this one right here will dominate big dogs.
Yeah, mine's a big chicken. Right. So
I almost had to turn in my Ranger tab when I got that dog.
Yeah, well, I had a Chihuahua. So I was a big guy walking a Chihuahua. That didn't last, so we went and got a Great Dane.
We have
size does matter.
Our other dog is a Chihuahua Jack Russell Terrier mix, and he's the coolest dog ever. But he's
my 8-year-old came back. She goes, "I want to cross a wiener dog with the Great Dane," and I said, "Well, what would you call it?" And she goes, "I'd call it the Great Wiener." Thank God I wasn't drinking anything when she said that. You guys ever come down you come into California, right? So when this thing clears up, any plans on coming down and maybe making a collaboration video down here?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I'd love to. We just got to set it up. It's not that bad. Our son went to college in Northern California.
Okay.
And so we, during football season, we were down there, heck, like every other weekend because he played ball down there.
Petaluma's awesome.
So we, anything on the West Coast is doable.
Yeah. West Coast, here's a small drop for everybody. West Coast meetup courtside January during the Big Ten. All the cool kids are going. Last year we had every single big rig you could think of. We had all the toters out there. So this year we're probably going to have the same thing going on. And about 5 million Instapods.
We need to get down that way, and I want to get into Arizona next April for sure. I'm talking about bringing the trailer down there for spring ball because that's where my Cubs play spring ball. So trying to get Dustin to come out.
Yeah, Dustin was heading down into Florida, but the plans changed. He'll probably go back into Florida, but we're trying to convince and teach Dustin, and I'm sure Leslie is probably going to say no, how to boondock in Arizona. And they're not boondockers, but we're going to fix that. We're going to teach them.
Yeah, we've only done it once, and it was in a farm field. We went to down by Salem. Every year there's a little town called Mount Angel, and they do just a seriously great Oktoberfest. And they let you bring your trailer down and just park in all the farm fields that are like right in town. So that's really the only boondocking we've ever done. So
yeah,
we're not, I don't know if we're not good at it. We just never done it.
Well, I didn't do it until last year. Well, I did it in the military a lot in a tank.
Well, that doesn't count.
But that, yeah, but this is the first time we did it. Yeah. This is the first time we did it out in the desert and quartzsite, and I think everybody had a great time. I think we're going to rent one of those Can-Ams because when you go down to the quartzsite, you got to go for a ride in the Can-Ams. So that's just kind of a, the tent is okay, but it's really the people that show up and the memories that are made. So now you guys you had some plans going on. When all this stuff lifts, what is the first RV park you want to try and get into and why?
Well, like I said, if Washington does what they say they're doing, we're going up to Elk Meadows, which is right at the base of Mount Adams. It's about an hour north and east of here. It's just a great place. Our RV plans for this summer were really kind of local. We're going to New Mexico, but we're not taking the RV down there. We're driving down there. We are staying in KOAs and stuff like that, doing the cabin thing. We're doing that in July. Huh?
No tents?
No. I tell you,
after the first tent burned down, we're done, people.
Well, not only that, but after the bed in the RV, it's just too hard to go back.
I know, right?
No, exactly. I'm just, we camp with a group of folks, and you see them on our videos, but and they're like, we got to get back to camping. I'm like, no, we don't. I'm fine being a glamper now. I camp.
Yeah.
I mean, the Army made me camp a lot. And I camp with the Boy Scouts, and I'm fine being, having a refrigerator and a coffee pot and, all of that, and wake up and the heater kicks on. I'm totally good with that.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely good with a queen size bed in the back and not sleeping in my face in the mud anymore. We did the tent camping thing once. The tent's still here. The RV is now what we use. We're not doing the tent thing anymore. I told the kids the tent, it's in the garage. Yeah.
If you want it, it's yours. You can have it.
Right.
And
is that the burn down tent?
When the air mattresses, you can have them. Just take them. Go.
Get out. Yeah. Well, we do a lot of beach camping here. That's kind of what our thing is. So we'll go up and down the coast here in Southern California. For those that are new to the channel, or just tuning in, we'll do a lot of beach camping. I'll fly the drone up and get some really cool shots of the beach. And I've been known to zoom in on a couple dolphins out there playing and seals and stuff. But we don't really do mountain camping. One, because the RV won't make it up the hill. We can get it up the hill, but at like 2 miles an hour, it makes it down real well. But up the hill is a challenge for us. So we like flat and beach camping and pull in, and you can have a tent in some of the state campgrounds. They will let you put tents on the beach. So the little ones like to do that once in a while. They'll put a tent out in front of the RV and play in that for a while. But we're not tent camping anymore. We're done with that.
Yeah,
that's done.
I'm done.
And then as soon as the 8-year-old grows up a little bit, goes off to high school, we're going to go part-time. The plan is to get a bricks and sticks or a slab somewhere, and that way, if we need to take a break from the road, we're going to pull in and take a break from the road and then get back on the road and go. The plan is for us is I fell in love in quartzsite with all the semi-truck toters. So the plan would be to get a semi-truck toter and a DRV full house and do that. That's our dream.
Wow.
And we'll make it happen here, I hope.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that this pandemic has taught us, or taught full-timers, is you got to have somewhere to go.
Right.
I've been watching a lot of channels where, they're not going to give up that lifestyle, which I'm fascinated with. But now they're starting to think we need a home base. We need, an acre of land or a half an acre, put a pad on there and 50 amp hookups. maybe run some water and sewer, and
Mhm.
then at least you have somewhere to go. Put a fence around it, and hire somebody to mow the lawn every once in a while you're gone.
If we all got together and chipped in, I bet you we could probably buy a cheap RV park somewhere. That might be a cool idea for everybody to get together, chip in a little bit of money, and you know what? We all own an RV park that we can make YouTube videos out of. I'd like everybody like to see that. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think
hey, whatever.
That'd be cool. When we were in South Dakota, coming home or coming back to the west, we were in little teeny town. In fact, I don't even know if they consider it a town. But it's right next to Little Bighorn. And we stayed at a KOA there, and they had a for sale sign on it. And I talked to the guy. I said, well, what's wrong with it? How many miles does it have? And he said, we gave this a 10-year commitment, and our 10 years is up. We want to sell it to somebody else, and they could do 10 years and, whatever. But it was a good KOA. I mean, it had, full hookups and a swimming pool and, all that. So, but yeah, he's like, yeah, you want to buy it? And I told Teresa, I'm like, hey, this is for sale. She's like, no, get in the car. Let's go.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But now, I mean, even like Adventures in Xanadu, he's like, made us decide to keep a tiny house on 2 acres. Really wanted to sell, but after this, nope. And I totally get it, man. I mean, my whole deal was, and my wife's deal is we want to do the RV lifestyle. We like that lifestyle. It really appeals to us. However, talking with friends like the Dupreys and some of the other people that have gone full time and really truly full time, it's nice to have a place to just park the rig and have a house, kind of get acclimated for maybe a month or two, and then go back out onto the road. It's just that security blanket. It's that whoopee, that, if you will, of this might be a good idea just to have, and then go out and experience, because nobody's saying you can't go out and experience full-time living, but you don't have to do it 12 months out of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's kind of fine. So RV Traveling wanted to know when we're going to be in New Mexico in July. So we're going to be in New Mexico from July 5th to like the 13th or something like that. And then we're heading up to Moab for about 3 days. And then, Hardin, Montana. That's where we were, not South Dakota. Yeah, that's when we're going to be in New Mexico. We're going to be actually at Philmont up there in Cimarron.
Right. And you know what would be really neat too, and I've talked to Bob over at Blue Wave Odyssey about this kind of behind the scenes, is I would like to do a West Coast meetup, a West Coast rally. They're doing a really cool one, but it's real far. And I know there's a lot of creators, and I know there's awesome family members and subscribers that would probably would be jonesing to come see us and hang out and break bread and make s'mores and all that good stuff. And it would be fun to have a West Coast rally out here, and maybe me and you could coordinate that, since we're on the left coast. We maybe figure something out of like a central place, maybe up in San Francisco area.
Well, I was thinking Reno.
Like Reno would be fun. Well, not up in the hills, because they got to push, it takes 5 people to push my car up.
Okay. We'll find a flat Reno.
Yeah, somewhere out there, maybe on the coast or something. Maybe these people, maybe everybody wants to go and camp at the beach. Everybody seems to love to camp at the beach. That would be a fun thing to do. And, we have a lot of experience. So maybe if people are interested, and you can always email me, and I respond pretty quick to emails and stuff, drop me an email or drop Jerry an email, and maybe we can get something going on the left coast over here for everybody to get together. We have a ton of things going on the East Coast and the Midwest, but maybe something over here would be fun once all this craziness gets lifted, and we can actually go out and say hi to everybody, because that's killing me.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that. We would definitely carve time out to do that. Yeah,
it would be, have a smoker challenge where we would go out, get together and smoke some tri-tips and have a challenge on that. That would be a lot of fun things we could do.
Yeah, I'll bring all the Dutch ovens.
Yeah, I did that once, but I got punched. You never know, Jerry. It just comes hard and fast.
No, I've been waiting for the last 55 minutes.
I've been good. I slipped it in there. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, that's like a good Uranus joke.
That was pretty much Uranus joke.
Just kind of slip them in there.
Yeah, I just slipped it right on in there. And the comments are responding to it. So
oh God.
Remember, all your hate mail goes to Jerry at Happy Place Diaries.
Oh, send it. Why not?
We got about 5 minutes left. I just want to say everybody that's tuned in and everybody that's going to watch this live stream later, thank you. And I truly want to thank everybody that's on the front lines, the firefighters and the grocery store clerks and the delivery people and the doctors and the nurses and everybody that's doing their part and chipping in to really bring this country together. And when this is over, I hope we get a lot of our liberties that have been kind of taken away a little bit here to keep us all safe. And I understand why it happened, but I hope they open it back up for everybody, because part of doing the YouTube thing is creating a family and a bunch of people you really do care about. And it's hard to hug somebody from freaking 6 feet away. And I'm Italian and we're a hugger. So I want to get this over with, and I want to say thank you to everybody. And you got about 4 minutes. So go ahead and plug your channel and all that good stuff. Tell us all about you, and we'll let you go do all that stuff.
Well, I guess the Reader's Digest version is we're the Happy Place Diaries, as indicated right here. Easy to find, not to be confused with Happy Place anything else. We just, our whole channel is just about having fun with life. We're kind of a drama-free zone. We don't dwell on bad things. We show off all the good stuff in life, because life's too short to get all grumpy and all that stuff. So you said something. When we put the seatbelt on, when we start our trip and we're pulling out of our driveway, as soon as we click that seatbelt, we go into relax mode, and it's our escape from, everything that goes on in your day-to-day life. And, I think that's we really need that now, there's a lot of people that are scared and worried and upset and mad and confused. So we need that outlet. And right now we have to do it this way, but as soon as that opens up, I'm with you. We need to get out there and, get with our friends and go camping and glamping or whatever you want to call it. But
yeah, this community is not.
Our channel is just about a journey of happiness. Yeah,
Jerry, this community is not about social distancing.
That's true.
It's not. The RV community is like, I relate to a military community. It's like a big family. If you pull into a park, and I've pulled in a ton of them over the 3-4 years I've been doing this, people will walk up, they'll help you up, they'll help you back up. That's where you can tell how good your marriage is when you're backing up your RV. They'll come out and hand you a beer as you're backing up. Everybody comes together. We all pull together and help each other out. And the project that you guys are doing for the vets, just it just highlights that to the next level of everybody's coming together, and we're going to help out the vets. We're going to come together as a family, as a community. We're going to support each other through all this craziness. We're going to get through it. We're going to continue to do live streams and jokes and all that stuff. If we can get people to run my playlist, which would be awesome after this, I will go ahead and donate 100% of all my live chats to Wayward Wags to help vets. I don't need the money. I'm giving it to the Wags because they know where to stick it, probably in Uranus. But they know where to donate that. So if you guys could run the playlist, that would be tremendous. That would help me out. I can't do it without you. I can make all the content and do all the live stuff, make Jerry pee his pants by laughing, but I can't get monetized unless you guys run my playlist, which I'm really asking for some help to help me out so I can start helping out the vets. I need you guys to help me do that. And I don't usually ask for that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're going to do another live on Friday. Try not to laugh. We got RV underway versus Wayward Wags, and the gloves are off. And maybe we'll start putting 2 RV channels versus 2 RV channels in here to see what's going on. Maybe we'll start doing something like that. We'll change it up a little bit, add a little bit of flair to it. I want to thank everybody for coming in, Slow Momentum and Culture, Lifestyles, and Travels. You're welcome for doing the live stream, man. And Jerry, thank you for coming on. And Wayward Wags, go ahead and drop a link to your stuff and your wag swag and all your stuff. And thank you for moderating for us. Our Epic RV Adventures is supposed to be a moderator, but Michelle can't figure it out. She's going to call me later on that. Everybody just thanks. And I want to end this like I end all of my videos, and I really do mean it. And here's how I do that. I say, I love you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. God bless. Be safe. Stay away from each other, and be good. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Drew.
No problem.